Let's get some action, man.
Hello everyone, this is Ian Magic 91, and here I'm talking about a current game that I'm actually playing, and that is Far Cry 5. Far Cry 5 is a very interesting game for me. I'm not really a Far Cry fan in a certain sense. I have played Far Cry 2 on PS3, but I wasn't able to really get through it as well as I had wanted to. Um, and I wasn't entirely sure about Far Cry 3, so I never played that. But I did actually play a little bit of Far Cry 4, but I guess it wasn't as interesting, and I kind of wanted to get some co-op play with a good friend of mine. And so I started Far Cry 5 and got to the point where I could do the co-op for the rest of the campaign, and which is pretty quick. It looked like it had a multiplayer thing that you couldn't do it, but either way, it was pretty very early on in the game either way. And so when we started and everything, it was very chaotic, and I I wasn't entirely sure why about all this chaos. For an example, a good chaos moment in my viewpoint is just driving along, trying to get from one point to the other, and you would have people, no matter if it was part of the cult or if it was actually one of the resistance, they would would be on the side of the drive, the actual road, and then all of a sudden they would just run to the other side and right in front of me. So it's not just that you have to pay attention to the road, you just have to make sure about all this chaos. And there's definitely a lot of chaos in this game, and it gets to that point where helicopters and airplanes are after you all at the same time, and it's pretty chaotic. But my good friend of mine and I, we definitely had a really good time. I'm currently doing the new game plus section of that, and I had added some of the DLC with that. So I have gotten the laser, I had gotten a lot of other stuff, and so I've been playing around with a lot of that lately. And it's been actually a pretty exciting kind of thing to do. And I think for me, the reason why I'm actually really enjoying this game is, first off, uh, I think because it's in America, it just feels like closer to home. It feels like something I can really grasp, and somehow I think the way that it is presented makes me feel like I understand it a little bit better. I understand the flow, and I also feel like I have a little more control about what goes on with my character. With Far Cry 2, I felt like with the malaria and everything, I just didn't like that part. And so, lo and behold, that is pretty much what happened, and I'm still actually playing it right now, so it's just on my own this time around, and trying to see what I can do because my friend, he already had played it once before, so he was actually pretty proficient with that. And so we, did a few things, and I like playing around. Sometimes the open world games get to be so too open world that I can't really know what next to do. And this one kind of makes me feel like, okay, I can find this to do, I can find that to do, or I can just drive around, maybe fish, maybe hunt. A lot of times when we were not playing together, I would fish, I would hunt, I would do certain little extra things just so I can get extra money. So I would say all in all, I really enjoy this game. And if you even have a little bit of a hint of cult and religion and kind of have an interest in how it forms with the game, it definitely has an interesting flavor on that. It's definitely cultish, and the cult kind of has its own like militia of sorts. So it's definitely not something that really is pertaining to any real religion anyway. So which is definitely fine for me. It's trying not to be representative of that. Um, I also didn't really feel like there was any kind of real strong political stuff to it, except for Herc and Senior and Junior. But otherwise, I kind of felt like they were in a land where they kind of had to have guns, they had to have this, they had to have that. It was part of survival. So, to end all this, I'm having a whole bunch of fun, and this is kind of how I feel gaming should be about, is to be able to have fun with that. So, without further ado, I will bring about another episode sometime. Not entirely sure exactly what it will be about exactly yet. I do already have one request, so I'm going to have to work on that. Well, take care and adios.